Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis. Well, it looks like we had another red day for the SPY. Last week, last Thursday, we had a new all-time high close around 522.2-ish. And then Friday and today, we just look like there's some profit taken here. SPY closing right around that 5 daily moving average. I tell you, a couple of pullbacks like this, dip buyers have been, they usually step up. Will that be the case? Again, will the dip buyers come again after a couple of days of pullback time? That's the question. But the price action must confirm. You guys can see here we lost that 520.5 level. Technically, that is a false breakout setup because when we gapped up here, giving us that new all-time high close, we cleared those levels. We cleared 520.5 and we cleared 522. And then when we lost 522, it led to a little more downside. Now we lost 520.5. Does Uncle call bottoms on his channel? No, I do not. But I tell us about the false breakdown setup. And the false breakdown setup, they usually put in bottoms. Not always, but when a bottom is put in, it's usually set off by a false breakdown setup. So with that being said, we lost 522, led to more downside. We lost 520.5. Will that lead to more downside? But if a bottom is to be in, 520.5 and 522 must recapture to invalidate these false breakout setups. We got to ask ourselves now, who was the last to get trapped? In this context, bears were the last to get trapped. But we also got to remember that the overall trend in 2024 has been bullish, and dip buyers have been buying the pullbacks all year long. So don't want to get too bearish now. I already mentioned to everybody, for me to get really bearish, I like to see the breakdown of the 2024 trend line. Something I mentioned to this in my Discord, but something I'd like to see is the price drop down, test that 2024 trend line. I don't want to see it break down just yet, and if it does, I probably won't trust it right away unless I get confirmation. But what I'd like to see is it break down, bounce, absorb those buy orders, maybe give us a dead cat bounce, and then break down again. And that second breakdown, that's the one that I would trust we break down. That's something I'd like to see happen if I was a bear. And if I'm a sheep, but if it happens like that, I would definitely trade it bearishly because the price action told me so. And like I said, it would need to break down that 5 daily moving average, which is around 520, well, 519.8 right now. Then I got that fib level of 518. And well, the 2024 trend line is sloping up and it's around 517-ish. Still need to break down those levels. So if bears want the pullback to continue, bottom line is they need to keep these false breakout setups intact, which means they need to stay below 522 and 520.5 to keep the lower targets in play. All right, so like I said, for a bottom to be in, we got to get a false breakdown setup. That means 520.5 and 522 must recapture to trigger calls. If it does, that's a sign that the dip buyers are back. Okay, we know the case scenario, the bear case and the bull case scenario. Just look to react unbiasedly. All right, here is QQQ. It's pulling back as well. We got last Thursday it closed around 445.8. Then the next day it closed a little higher, but today not so much. We gapped down and got a lower close. There is still some buying pressure off that 1.236 fib level around 443-ish. Consider it a zone, but otherwise, to be bearish, we need that daily chart close. Break it down. We did get a bounce off that level today, that zone. So if we break it down tomorrow, that's a dead cat bounce, and it's a lot gonna be. I'll trust that breakdown more, and we could put the lower targets in play, 441, 439, possibly all the way down to 435.4. Okay. Just look to react. However, we break above 446.5, That's bullish follow through with 448 and new all-time highs, possibly at 450 in play. Can we get to 450? NVDA pushing up high at a new all-time high close. Keyword is close here, not the all-time high pivot high, but it is a new all-time high close, closing today at 950. Amazing. All right, I got it. Also cleared that fib level of 945.6. That's bullish, and as long as above it, stay bullish. Yeah. Next resistant, holy moly, it's well, you know, this stock is crazy volatile. It's a bit complicated, so I'm gonna have to go down to a smaller time frame. 1 hour is not too bad. Yeah, if it can clear 952, I got resistant around 954. And of course 960. Then that new all-time pivot high is all the way up to 967.6. All right, but overall, if it wants more upside, it got to clear. Yeah, 954, 958, 960. There's a pivot high here around 962, all the way up to 964.5 and then 967.7. All right, those are the upside resistant levels. Now, as far as a pullback, it's got to break down 945.6 to trigger a false breakout setup. Breaking down 938.5 would be a bearish fall through as well and should give us a deeper pullback down to the 920s possibly. All right, here is Tesla. Is a 30-minute chart here. It's trying to bounce some more. It looks like it's trying to put a bottom in. However, it's still rejecting from that 175 level, which is a fib level. It's going to have to clear it. We tested today. We absorbed some sell orders. Just think of a dead cat bounce, but reverse for in favor of the bulls. But yeah, long calls if 175 clears. Okay, for this to be a dead cat bounce, we did retest it as a resistance. Remember, we had a false breakout last Thursday. We retested it today as resistance. It could be just a back test, but to show follow through, it'll need to break down 170 and 168. Those levels failed. That's a back test, a bearish back test, and we're going to head down lower. Okay, so below 175, overall bearish. Above 175, we can get bullish on Tesla. IWM still looking bearish to me. Just needs to show us that follow through and break down 205. If it does, short. I can't get bullish unless we get back above 207.5, guys. All right, break down 205 and 203, look to short. Break above 207.5, there, look to long. Apple, wow. Well, I mean, last week it bounced off that 170 level. Today, I mean, we recaptured 172. Today, not much fall through on that fib level at 172. As a matter of fact, it rejected from that area. Bears need to capitalize on this. If they break down 170 tomorrow, we are likely heading down lower, down to 168.5 or 167.4, maybe down to 166. I'll be bullish if we can finally clear 172. If it does, look to long with 173.5 and 175 in play. AMD trying to go for a bounce, but it did technically close lower than last Friday. Still got to clear 180. It tried today, but couldn't hold it. Maybe it can do it again tomorrow if there's less sell orders. Clear 180. There's resistance at 183 and 185. Those levels must clear as well to put a bottom in. Above 185, I'd be a little more bullish. Maybe we can go retest that 20 daily moving average all the way up there around 192-ish. But it's got to clear 180 to start. If we break back down 178 and 176, dead cat bounce or whatever you want to call that. Either way, those levels fail, we're going down 173 to 170.6 level in play. Amazon is trying to bounce up higher, but it's going to have to clear 180.2 and 181.4. If it does, new all-time high in play up to 183 and 185. If Bears want some downside, because the Bulls are trying to make progress right now, but if Bears want to end their party, they're going to have to break down 179 and 177.6. Those levels fail. 176 and 173.3 are both in play. Netflix just chopping around, trying to figure out what it wants to do. It's been creeping up, but look like it's running out of strength here, okay? Bearish follow through, break down 625.5 and 624. If it does, look to short. So far, there's still some buying pressure there, but how long can they hold? If 630.5 and 632 clear, I think they made up his mind. Market makers made up their mind. They're going to push Netflix higher, but they got to clear those levels to put 635, 636.8, and 640.6 in play. Here's Google. Still didn't break down that 150.3 level after clearing it last week, but it's got to show some bullish follow through by clearing 153. If it does, 155 plus is in play. Bears need a breakdown on the daily chart, 150.3 and 149. If it does, bearish, okay? Be a lot more bearish below 147.3 and favor a deeper pullback, maybe to fill the gap around 143-ish, all right? Here is Microsoft. Look like it's pulling back as well. Look like it's pulling back as well. All right. It cleared a fib level last week, 424. That was a macro level fib level. Spent a couple of days above it. We gapped down. Looked like an island reversal up there. Look, it'll look better on a small time frame. But yeah, we gapped down, pushed a little lower, and closed below 424. That is a false breakout. Overall bearish below 424, but follow through, breakdown 421 and 419. That will put 415.7 in play. Below that would be a breakdown of the uptrend line. Could also be a back test of, you see this orange line? We cleared that level. Could also be a back test of that level, which is all the way at 413.5. Definitely bearish below those levels. Okay, but right now we got a false breakout setup. Only way it'll be invalidated is if we recapture 424. If it does, don't argue with the price action. Put in 426.5 or higher back in play, guys. Meta also pulling back and broke down that 505.4 level. We lost the fib level. Around 500 did show some buying pressure. So tomorrow 500 needs to fail to show bearish follow through. Put in 497, 494 or lower in play. Can't fully get bullish unless we recapture 505.4 to put 510 or higher back in play. Okay. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin. Look at BA. BA is looking all bearish. Anyways, Bitcoin. And look at that. We cleared that 67.1K level. Also trying to clear that 69.3K level. There's still a couple hours left on this candle. If they succeed, 71.7K, 73.1K are both in play. But a new all-time high, maybe at 74.3 and 75.5K, could also be a possibility. This will be a lower high only when we break down support, which we need to see 69.3, 67.1, and 65.4K all need to fail as support to give us that lower low. All right, guys. Now let's take a look at the dark pool. 519.8 is where most of the activity was. Let's take a look how much. It was 2.6 billion in premium. That's a lot. We also had 521.4, 1.1 billion. Yeah. Those are the dark pool levels. And let's take a look at the flows. 100K premiums or above. Okay, it's bearish, guys. Bearish. Maybe the dip buyers won't come in this time, but follow the price. Oh! Triple Q agrees? When's the last time we saw that? And IWM agrees. When was the last time we saw that? That's, I'm excited for tomorrow, guys. The NVDA is still bullish. Tesla's still bullish. What's next? Apple, bullish. The individual stocks are still bullish. AMD. But, I mean, the indices, they were all bearish. Amazon's bullish. Netflix, nothing. What's up with Netflix? Google's bearish. Let's see what the L is bearish. And it's not. We'll see what happens. Price action is the true shepherd anyways. Microsoft is bullish. Meta is bullish. And Beto, bullish. Mara, it malfunctioned. Hey, at least we got to Beto this time, guys. All right, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I love you guys. Peace out.